Case summary. Case name: Shogun Finance Limited v. Hudson, 2003. Court: House of Lords. Citation: 2003 UKHL 62. Summary: Shogun Finance Limited v. Hudson, 2003 was a significant case in English contract law, particularly concerning the doctrines of mistake and misrepresentation. The House of Lords was asked to determine whether a hire purchase agreement was valid when the person who signed it did so under false identity. Background facts. Claimant, appellant, Shogun Finance Limited. Defendant, respondent, Norman Hudson. Facts: a fraudster, using a stolen driving license, pretended to be Mr. Patel and purchased a car under a hire purchase agreement with Shogun Finance Limited. The agreement was based on the fraudster's representation as Mr. Patel, who had a good credit history. After acquiring the car, the fraudster sold it to Mr. Hudson, an innocent third party who bought it in good faith. When the fraud was discovered, Shogun Finance Limited sought to recover the car from Mr. Hudson, arguing that the hire purchase agreement was void due to the fraud. Argument. Claimant's argument: Shogun Finance Limited argued that the hire purchase agreement was void ab initio from the beginning because it was based on a fraudulent misrepresentation. They contended that there was no valid contract between Shogun and the fraudster, as the company intended to contract with Mr. Patel, not the fraudster. Defendant's argument: Mr. Hudson argued that he was an innocent purchaser for value without notice of the fraud. He claimed that he acquired good title to the car because the hire purchase agreement appeared valid on its face and he had no reason to suspect any fraud. Final outcome and law justification: the House of Lords ruled in favor of Shogun Finance Limited, determining that the hire purchase agreement was void. Consequently, Mr. Hudson did not obtain good title to the car and Shogun Finance Limited was entitled to recover the vehicle. Law justification: the key legal principles underpinning this decision were contract formation. The House of Lords emphasized the importance of identity in contract formation. Shogun Finance Limited intended to contract with Mr. Patel, who had the good credit history, not the fraudster. Mistake: the court recognized that a mistake as to the identity of the contracting party can render a contract void. Since Shogun Finance Limited was under the impression they were dealing with Mr. Patel, there was a fundamental mistake about the identity of the other contracting party. Hire Purchase Act 1964. Section 27 of the Hire Purchase Act 1964 protects innocent third parties in good faith from losing goods bought under a hire purchase agreement, but only if the original agreement is valid. Since the agreement in question was void due to fraud, this protection did not apply to Mr. Hudson. Key concept implications: the case underscores the critical nature of identity in contract formation and reinforces the legal principle that a contract made with a false identity can be rendered void. It also highlights the limitation of protections for innocent third-party purchasers in cases where the original contract is void ab initio. Key takeaways: the identity of the contracting party is fundamental. A contract based on a mistaken identity can be void. Fraudulent misrepresentation that leads to a mistaken identity nullifies the contract. Protections for innocent third parties under the Hire Purchase Act 1964 do not apply if the original contract is void due to identity fraud.